Alrighty. So I'm back to my friends Force in Motion here, and I'm using the designated little sketchbook that I have for them. I just have my scissors and stuff here to hold the page down. I was struggling with the character of Force because although I was liking Motion as a very simple sphere who doesn't even have a face at the moment, that simplicity was not working for me with Force. So this morning I just Googled designing characters with simple shapes. And I ran across this, and the preview was this. And then there was another preview leading to the same page with this. And I thought, maybe I can get away with making Force a little more complex, because I think Force as a character has a more complex role to play than Motion. Motion moves from one place to another, basically. But Force sort of has to exemplify all the forces, at least all of the ones present on a playground that kids in the lower grades are going to learn about. So I thought, well, maybe I can get away with that. Maybe I can get away with a really simple character for Motion and a more complicated character for Force. And so I just doodled this real quick, inspired by this. But I gave Force springs. I want Force to have springs for arms and legs. Well, joints in the arms and legs, at least, or part of the arms and legs, because spring force may come into play in the story. So anyway, I am going to explore that a little bit more and maybe try drawing them in some situations that I think might be happening in the story. So yeah. So that's my inspiration, and I might Google some other photos of playgrounds and whatnot while we're here. Okay. So I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. And probably should have sharpened my pencil first. Using just a regular graphite this time instead of my color erase. For better or for worse. The color erase is good because it doesn't really smear, and graphite does. Oh dear, that doesn't sound good. Yikes. But it also doesn't lay down quite as dark. Okay, let's start by giving, I think Motion might actually be a little bit smaller than that, but I'll give Motion a little face. And maybe Motion should have some sort of a pattern, like, I don't know, be a basketball or something. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm like, what am I drawing? What are they doing? Well, let's draw Force from the side. Not going to be all that much different. Make it kind of 3/4 so we can still that didn't seem right. So I have a little springy neck. Kind of checking Well, I think it looks better from the front than the side, but that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't look so good. I don't know. I wanted to give some indicate. Okay, it's too big relative to, yeah. I don't know about that. Let's see. I mean, like, I don't really love this side view here, but I still generally am thinking that, yeah, it needs to be narrower, I think, from the side. That helps a little bit. What would he look like with a waist? I don't think I want a waist. But yeah, I'm liking this. More complex design for force. Oh, those little boots are not that impressive. Yeah, I don't like the waist very much. So I'm gonna stick with this. Okay, I think there's possibility here. Okay, so let's see. What are we gonna do? So they go to the playground and they discover that things are amiss on the playground. And instead of sliding down to the bottom of the slide, I haven't decided. I think they're just going to go there and they're going to see that kids are playing and things aren't working the way they're supposed to. So kid pushes off of the slide with their hands. And gravity doesn't work. So instead of they need to be further out though. So instead of sliding down the slide, they push off and they just go forward into the air because there's no gravity. Trying to imagine what that would look like. To be a little bit higher up, right? But the kids are having a good time. They're like, woohoo, no gravity. Of course, I guess maybe without, I don't know, would her hair fly back without wind resistance? I don't know. Drawing feels hard today. What am I doing here? Head's too small. That's the problem. Definitely want the kids to be having a good time, not being afraid. Maybe there's a friend at the top of the slide giving her a little push. But we've also lost the power of, so she's just going to keep on going. So there wouldn't be any wind to blow her bangs out of her face. But I'm going to say that her hair would still go straight out because her body would move away from where the hair was. Kind of like, no, I'm just like pushing this all over the place, aren't I? I don't know. This is probably not going to be a great video. Yeah, so when the astronauts move around in zero gravity, their hair will stay where they were and then their bodies move, right? So she was back here, so her hair, but this hair is in front of her face. So it's not, it's stopped by her face. So her hair is going back. You could have we'll have a little friend giving her a push, but she's really happy about it. There's no, of course, I did have something in there about like a lack of friction, and a kid can't even run properly. But is he going to be able to stand on the steps? without friction? I mean, probably not. It's going to be really slippery, right? And if there's no friction and this person pushes this person, then this person is just going to go backwards. So I got to make a little note. Got to think about that. Or maybe the friction isn't completely turned off. Maybe there's just enough, you know? Maybe I'll just say there's enough friction to walk, but not enough to run. Because if you think about it, like if you're on a slick surface, like say you're on ice, if you're careful, you can walk and you can stand, but you might just kind of, your feet might slip out from under if you tried to run. Maybe he'll just like turn his feet so they're kind of hooked. I'll do that. Is this like a super weird sketchbook session? It kind of is, huh? Okay, and let's see. The swings, I think the swings are just going to go round and round and round and round. And again, the kids are having a good time. They're not scared. Because, you know, they're kids. This is awesome. I kind of wish, like, maybe I'd gone to animation school or something. I think I'd be a lot faster, more confident drawer. Again, I'm thinking the hair is going to be, you know, just trailing. So if your hair, you're going up over, then your hair is going to be below and behind, right? Yeah, because that's where you came from. So your hair is going to be kind of back here. But again, no wind resistance, so your bangs are just kind of smushed against your face. Kid's looking kind of crazed. I can't look at that face. Okay. missing over this guy. So I think maybe the different will be separate spreads to kind of talk about how different things are affected. So the slide's affected this way, the swings are affected this way. Thought about a tether ball, but that doesn't really involve people. What was the other thing? A merry-go-round. You know, just one of those little ones where you run around. The teeter-totter. Seesaw. That one might be interesting. Maybe I'll have the kids on the seesaw and they can still go back and forth, but the kid who's going up is going to keep going up until the kid on the other side, I'm going to assume the teeter-totter is bolted to the ground, otherwise everyone goes flying. Although I guess the hair would, well, the hair would keep going too, right? But after the body. So maybe it's more like this. And maybe this is kind of a two-parter. And they can explain that. There has to be some friction or they can't hold on. But then I can have them explain. This kid pushes up. So the force of them pushing causes them to go up. And so even though there isn't any gravity, that force pushes the teeter-totter down. And then when they exert force, their side's going to go up. And as long as they hold on, they're going to be pulled back down, even though there's no gravity. Which makes sense. And it would be really even easier to push yourself up because you're not working against gravity. What I need is to be able to test these things in a vacuum. I don't think that's going to be possible, though. Anyway. So this might be a two-parter, and then I'll draw the other kid up in the air. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to observe all these strange things happening on the playground. And then they're going to say, okay, let's test it. Here, attach the tether and swing me around the tetherball pole. So they can just be out here and not fall toward the pole and not slow down because of, or take a much longer time to slow down. Because I still think we need enough friction to, for people to hold on to things and walk and whatnot. Okay. And so force will be down here. Looking at what's going on. I didn't do a very good job there. That head should be shorter. It's a little better. And I'm thinking, let's see. So how do we get? I could use the spring force and have force jump up and grab, but they'll have to hang on to the tether and then use the pole to climb back down because the gravity's not going to pull them back down. But I think these are all good opportunities to explain, once you're in motion, if there's no force to stop you, you will stay in motion. And that there are other forces that can be applied besides the ones that just naturally occur, like gravity and friction. If those go away, you still have, the force that you can apply with your own body to pull yourself down a pole or something like that. Okay, so this was, I guess, sort of a non-traditional sketchbook session in that it was also sort of an idea session. Or maybe this person's hair should still be down because this is where they came from. Or maybe it's the hair's both doing kind of the same thing. Because they came from up here, but the hair's momentum is still carrying it down. So eventually it would come all the way back down. Okay, so there's 2 minutes left. Kind of got a handle on my characters. Happy with that. Lots more drawing to do, lots more writing to do. But yeah, this was a useful, if not beautiful, session. And I hope this stayed within the, I kind of pushed it up there, didn't I? Sorry about that. Yeah, I think this was a useful session. Might not have been that fun to look at, and I know there were long silences where I was just thinking, but I'm glad I did it. Until next time.